Hello all and welcome to the latest Craftmania Sunday Showcase. This week, I know this is slightly early, we're going to be talking about Christmas. Now I know it's only the end of March, but many of you have been requesting that we have some new Christmas products come in. So of course we always try to fulfil your wishes, so I bring you brand new Christmas stock. Now this week we're going to be looking at some really delicate dies. They're really well made, they're actually quite a thick metal, incredibly intricate, but ever so easy to use. These aren't the sort of dies where everything gets stuck and it takes you a month of Sundays to get it all out of the die. They cut really beautifully, really simply and really easily. I've been using mine this week in the Gemini machine, and I've also got a cut and emboss. But of course, if you've got a Cuttlebug, Grand Caliber, Big Shot, whatever style of machine you've got, as long as the dimension of the die will fit in it, you'll be absolutely fine. They really are a dream to use. So with that in mind, we've made some little sample boards. If you've been in one of our stores before, you'll know that we always pop these in front of our dies, so you can actually get an idea a little bit of how they're going to cut out. We tend to feel that looking at that, it's quite blocky and you can't really see the detail, and it's always a bit hit and miss if you're going to know which bits emboss and which ones don't. So we tend to do these little sample cards in front of the product just to give you an idea. I have lots of proper sample cards that we'll talk about in a moment, but I just wanted to talk you through these. So this is our first die, our first creator card style, and this one is our Snowy Village. It's a beautiful design. You've got your lovely little barn down here, picket fence, trees. Up the side you've got some skis, then across the top some snowflakes before we meet our lamppost and our ice skates on that side. Really, really beautiful little one. Now of course I've cut these just out of silver mirror board and layered them on black and white card. Moving on to our next design, this is our Festive Frame. So this one's slightly more intricate, a little bit more smaller detail going on here. It's got another little village and some gorgeous little reindeers in the middle here. They're just dying to have a little red nose put on that one. And of course we've got some little twiddly bits and some flowers as we go across the top, even some hanging baubles and some bells. And so that one is your Festive Frame. Moving on, we have our Snowburst Frame. Now, although we've called this one a Snowburst, I really think it would go so well for many occasions. And on one of the cards I've got a little later on, I'm going to show you a completely un-Christmassy card that I've done with it. And I think it works really well. I also think this design would work particularly well for Art Deco cards, where it's got all these little flourishy bits at the top. I could really see that going in well with the Art Deco craze at the moment. Moving on, we have our little Flourish here. This is our snowy Flourish. And again, it's just a gorgeous little design. I've also popped on here the little snowflake because I wanted you to see that that's the bit that gets cut out from this design here. So it's, again, a lovely little bit that you can use on its own. Perfect to save. You could even pop them inside a little shaker card maybe. And on some of my sample cards I'm going to show you today, you'll see them used. Moving on to our last die in this collection, this is our Winter Walkers. Now, although we've called it Winter Walkers, I'm not convinced they're not ice skating. Or they certainly could be ice skating, put it that way. If you wanted to turn this little void here into a lake, they could be ice skating. If you wanted to put it in as snow or grass, they could be walking. Whatever you pick. Again, on some of today's samples, I'll show you different ways that we can use that and cut it about a little bit. So you've got that to look forward to. So with no further ado, let's actually have a look at a couple of the cards I've made. So this is the first one I'm going to start off with. Now I wanted to explain to you a little bit about this one. This is just an ordinary aperture card. Now when you buy aperture cards in store, you'll find that they have 3 panels to them. And the idea is you tend to do your work in the actual aperture, then you fold up the back and seal it to create an ordinary card. Well, I don't like to do anything that's too ordinary, so instead I've created these. Now I've done these a few times, but I don't think I've ever explained to you how I've done them. So all I've got is the back panel just left down with a stopper at the end of it, and then the remaining panel comes down to keep it up in the air. Ever so simple to do, but just gives you a bit of a different effect. Also means you can have little swinging bits in the middle if you wish to. So on this card itself, we have our gorgeous Festive Frame going around the edge here. And I've just cut that out of white cardstock and just added a little bit of silver glitter around the details. Behind that, actually foam padded on the inside of the frame, is our Winter Walkers die cut. And again, I've just glittered that with a little bit of silver glitter just to match in. A really simple card to do. ever so easy. And we tend to try and think a little bit for people who A, have hundreds of Christmas cards to do, or B, if you're going to try and sell your cards. I know a lot of you do Christmas cards for sale, and these dies work really well for that, because if they look like you've put in so much work and effort, when all we've had to really do is cut out a die, and it gives you that lovely delicate effect without too much faffing. So moving on to card number 2, again a really simple one to do. This one's just a twisted easel. You know I love my easel cards, and this is just another one of those. Just white cardstock layered on top of a white card. Then down the front here we have our little poinsettia. Now if you were watching our videos last year, you'll know that this poinsettia creeps in at every opportunity when I'm talking about Christmas. It's one of my very favourite dies, and this time all I've done is just glittered on all of the leaves, just some little details in silver. Coming out from the base of that one, we have the Snowy Flourish die, which is in today's Sunday Showcase offer. And then above that, we have the same frame I just showed you on the last one, which is our Festive Frame. Now this time, because I wanted it to be self-supporting, so I could attach it to just one half of the twisted easel, I've taken 2 of them and just foam padded them together. Gives them a bit more support, and it also gives it a bit more depth when you look at it. So hopefully it's an effect you're going to like. But I quite like the fact it's sort of freestanding, and then you've got sort of the opening behind it as such. Again, really simple to do, but hopefully you'll agree quite effective. Moving on to our next card. Now this one's a bit different. I've actually made a bit of a staircase for this one. So all I've got is just an acetate front panel that's just the same size as my card, except I've added a little bit. So if I pull this down a bit, you can see it's a little bit longer than the card, and I've just scored it at every ½ inch to create this little stepper effect. So we've got a ½ inch score, a 1, a 1.5, a 2, a 2.5 and a 3, and then the rest of the acetate continues to the same size as the card. Of course you could play about with that to pick your own sizes. You could even have smaller or larger steps if you wanted to. The good bit is as well is this will all collapse down, so if you want to post it flat you can do, and then when it gets to the other end they can just pull it back to shape. So the actual dies I've used on this one, we start off at the front here. We've got the Winter Walkers die, just cut and layered on step number 1. Behind that, I'm just going to try and flip this forward, you're going to see that we have our snowy village scene. Now this time, if you remember the actual die itself, it has a top part that should be here, which are all of these snowflakes. Now I've just snapped them off. Snapped, I mean cut. As you can't really snap them, I mean that'd be a bit naughty. So I've just snipped them off, that's more what I mean. And the good bit is of course when you do that, these dies have been designed in such a way that you can still use all these elements as well. They're all still left as full items, so if you want to cut them up or if you want to just layer them onto your design somewhere else, it's ever so easy to do so. But by opening out the top part there, it meant I could use something else behind it. So, on to our next step. This time, we've gone for the Festive Frame. And this time, I've just cut out the village scene across the bottom here and layered that on the next step, just that part of it. I've then used the rest of it, all this top part, on the last part of the card, actually on the backing card, and just foam padded that on, just to complete the frame and sort of give you the illusion that it is all one image as such. But of course we've actually put together 3 different dies to create that effect, but hopefully you will like it, and it hopefully gives you a sort of a more lacy and intricate layer, and looks like we've done a lot of work when once again we really haven't. Moving on to our next card. I've got so many to get through today. I do get a bit excited when it comes to Christmas. I have so much to show you and so many ideas. Again, this is a really quick one. These ones are perfect for the sort of family members and friends when we don't really want to send them cards, but we feel we've got to. It's just such a quick and simple one to do. It's that same Festive Frame, just cut out this time in craft card, foam padded onto a white layer, which is being put on a craft one, and then layered onto a white card. I've just gone around the edge with tea dye actually on the scallop of the card, just to try and tone in the colours from the stamped greeting. I've then got the same poinsettia again, and I don't know how well this is going to pick up on camera, but I've just distressed the ends of it to match in again with the same colour of the sentiment, just to give it a bit of a tone. Again, really simple to do, nice quick card. Now this one, I'm going to be honest, I'm not actually really nuts about this one, but I've kept it in today's video because I want to show you the idea. And then from there on you can run with it and create your own ideas with it and your own style. But I just wanted to show you this could be done if you're thinking, well, they're a bit flat and I'd like them with a bit more colour. Of course you can colour them. So that's what I've done for this one. This has all been done with Distress inks. I've got quite a list going on here. We've got a bit of Chipped Sapphire, Wild Honey, Vintage Photo, Pine Needles, and possibly a couple of others hidden there for good effect. But just basically play around with whatever inks you've got, or of course pop in the store where you can purchase a few more to your collection. All I've got is the first one is Snowy Village. I'm losing the focus on my eyes now, I can't even read my own signs. Snowy Village, this one, is our outside die, and that's just been kept as a complete die. Moving back down to that stack, this time we have our Winter Walkers. Now I said earlier that we could cut these about a bit, and I'm going to bring in the original so you can see it once again. As you can see, we have this whole family, either walking or ice skating, whichever you feel they're doing, but they're very easy to snip off. So if you do want to take them out of there, it just leaves you with sort of a lake with some rushes or a bit of a grassy field, whatever you feel it looks like. I actually was quite reminded of the Norfolk Broads with this and thought that it might be quite a nice retirement card or a fishing card maybe, a man's card. So of course, although these are Christmas dies, there are always other uses that you could do with them. If you wanted to keep the people in there and you've got a rambler, you could also do a bit of a rambling card maybe. Depends, of course, on who you've got as people you wish to send cards to, doesn't it? Moving to our last layer, again we have that lovely Festive Frame, and this time we've just cut off the village from the bottom again, just to layer at the end of our design. I quite like the way with these dies that they do sort of step back in size and focus. So you've got the big buildings at the front, and the medium buildings behind it, and the smaller buildings at the back. So you really can sort of get that tunnel effect with these, and it's all been done for you. So what more could we ask? Now moving on, we're going to go over to this side of cards. So I have been on a bit of a white work theme today. Got to be honest, I sort of do find I go in tangents. I suppose we all do really. But I have got a bit of a white work thing going on. It's been going on a little while. So you may have seen some of our other videos where I've been a bit white work nuts. Well, that sort of continued into today. So this time we have our same Snowy Village die, but I wanted to show you how easy it is to layer them. So this time I've cut them 3 times and just picked different elements to layer each time. So for instance, we've got the skis have been done a couple of times, the tree in front of that 3, this tree a couple, then the little barn is on there twice, and the lamppost behind it is on there 3 times. The little ice skates are on there twice. Just to give you a little idea, but of course you could play about with these. You could of course ink them like I showed you on the past examples, but all I've done is kept them white and just glittered little elements with some iridescent glitter, and then just layered it on lots of different white cardstock. Tucked into this I've got my lovely Snowy Flourish that's just coming out of both sides there, and that's nice and simple to add in, gives you a bit more depth. And across the bottom we have this. Now I don't think we've ever spoke about this before. It's available in store. It comes by the metre. It's only available in white, but of course you could colour it if you wish to. It's 99p a metre, but it's quite nice because it's flat backed. So you can either just glue gun it on, or I've actually put mine on just underneath the lip of that card with some double-sided tape, and that's quite secure there just by that alone. Although it's plastic, it has held on quite nicely. So it's a nice little design, gives you a little bit more texture and a bit more design, a bit of class to your card as well. Moving on to our next card, what have we got this time? Oh, we've got a bit blue this time. So here we have a circle. Now this was a Snowy Burst Frame, which I showed you here earlier. Now in this one, I've cut another die in blue, just a plain circle, the same size as the circle of my Snowy Burst Frame. And I've taken the walkers again, that's our Winter Walkers, and I've just cut it so it's the same size as my actual oval. So it's sort of a half moon on the base of that die, if that makes sense, so that it fits within the same frame again. From the side, I've got that same Snowy Flourish, and again, just a really simple, easy card to do. The snowflake at the top here is the one that pops out the side of the Flourish. So again, putting all of our waste to good use. No such thing as waste in our world, is there? Everything has a use somewhere. So again, nice, simple, easy card to do. Moving on, let's go for this one, shall we? Now this one I feel is lacking a little something, but everyone assures me they quite like it. So again, it's made it to the video, but if you're not too keen, again, just use it as an idea. You could of course ink all this and colour it or paint it, glitter it, but I've kept it quite classic, hopefully, and just gone for craft and white, craft and cream card, sorry, not white. So again, we've just got that same snowy village scene going around the edge. And then on the base there's actually a large stopper in here from my double easel, which I've just added on to them little snowy flourishes. And then at the front here we've got a little tuck back easel, and on the front of that we've added the walkers again, so that's your winter walkers. I love these dies because they're so delicate. You just sort of want nothing behind them, just so they sort of hang up and you see how delicate they actually are. Such beautiful dies to work with. Moving on. Now this card, this is really just me playing about, to be honest. It's not really an actual card. It's just more a way of showing you a few ideas in one go. I wanted to show you more how you could cut these dies about with a little bit more interest. So this time we've got our village, snowy village. I'm going to get the names right sooner or later. I'm doing really bad on this one, aren't I? Snowy village. So this time all I've done is cut the die pretty much in half, because I wanted to show you that although it's set out like that, you could of course reverse it. So this time I've got my little barn with our lamppost coming on to the left side, or the right side, depending on how you're looking at it. And over the other side we have our skis and trees. So as I say, just to show you that you can cut them about, use them as separate dies. You don't have to keep it as a frame. Same idea on the inside panels. This is just the little buildings and trees off of the bottom of our festive frame. And then here we have just the walkers. So basically we've cut off the trees and the windmill, just so you could just have just the walkers if you wanted to. And then here we've built a little scene with the trees and the windmill. Again, across the top here, I wanted to show you that you could use the top of the festive frame just to make up little border pieces. This is just a little one of the snowflakes that comes off of the Flourish, I think. No, I'm lying to you, sorry. Off of the top here. That's like we was talking earlier about how you could use these as individuals. That's just one of these cut out and added on just to show you that you could even use them as a separate as well. And then we have a little flourishy bit as well that's come off of here, just to show you nothing is wasted. If you do want to cut into these, you really can take out the smallest portions and use them for something else. Again, we've got our little snowflake lad on the top here that comes out of the middle of the snowy flourish as well. So again, even they come in handy from any of them, really. That all just folds up into a little booklet. But as I say, not really a card, just more an idea to show you a few bits you could do with it. Now then, we move on. Now, you may have had enough of Christmas. I only have one more Christmas card to show you after this one. But I also wanted to show you a little bit of how these dies, or some of these dies, could be used in a non-Christmassy idea. So this one is this one again, which is our Snowburst frame. But this time I've cut it out a black card. I've gilding waxed over the top of it to give it that more metally style finish to it. And I've gone a bit berserk with papers. You may have seen yesterday, yesterday being Saturday, sorry if you're not watching this on Sunday. On Saturday on our Facebook page, we uploaded lots of new 12 by 12 papers and some stamps as well that are all different collections. But the collection I've chose is the Oriental theme. Now, we've done this card style before. If you're watching this video and you've come to the lessons, you're thinking, I've seen that somewhere. We did this exact same fold and we did a boat on here. Again, it's a great way to show you that if you do come to the lessons, even if you don't necessarily like the theme we've done in the lesson, you can take the technique or you can take the fold and you can use it for many other themes and styles. So the next two cards I'm going to show you are both using the same fold that we did with the boat, but two very different themes. So this is our Oriental one. As I say, that's your snowy frame, your snowy, snowy burst frame, that's the one for the middle there. We've then added in a little sentiment. Now that comes off of the sheet of stamps that is your Oriental set, a little verse down here. You also get the fan on here as well. That's available in store for $7.99. You've also got these gorgeous flowers, which I didn't use, and the little cherry blossom at the bottom, which I didn't get to use on this card. But watch out, because they will come back. I really like this set, so we will use them again and again, I'm sure. Paper wise, everything is decorated. This really is a card of many layers. So in here we have all different papers. I will actually pop into the comments on our Facebook page. If you're one of our Facebook followers, you'll be able to see the album of them papers in the comments underneath this video. So if you do want to have a little look, and if you want any of the papers held, then of course you can request to have them held too. The inside of the card is also decorated, and I quite like this. Although, as I said, this fold wasn't designed for this style of card, this theme of card. I do quite like the fact that that does obviously look like a little screen, so it does sort of work quite well. And if you wanted to add more dies and bits on top of them, you could do. And of course, we have our white panel at the end for you to write your sentiment on. But just a really nice card, just to show you how, although they're Christmas dies, you really don't have to just be limited to Christmas for these. But if you haven't had enough of Christmas, I do have one last card to tempt you with. Now this is again the same fold, completely different papers this time. This is a Christmas collection. We spoke about these on one of our videos last year. I've managed to get more in for this video this year. They're really lovely. They're double-sided as always. So I will post pictures of these in the comments on our Facebook page again. So if you do want to have them held, you can do. Once again, just request them and we'll get them held for you. But moving back to the card, so that explains all of the different layers. Again, I've done the inside as well as the outside of all of the different panels. And the actual dies on this one are all of the dies from your Sunday Showcase today. So to begin with, we have our little winter walkers down here. Again, these have all been cut in black card and then just gone over with gilding wax just to try and tone them in. Then behind that, we have the village scene, the snowy village scene. Again, black card and just gilding wax over the top. And then lastly, at the back here, we have the festive frame, done again in black and gone over with gilding wax. It's also worth noting that all of my layers, even the bits under the borders, are all done with black card. And just like you would normally distress, I've just gone around the edges with gilding wax just to tone in all of that lot with the die cuts themselves, just to make one card. Okay, so that's all of your samples for today. So let's get chatting about your offers. Now then, I don't know if you have seen this already. You may have received an email, you may have seen this on our Facebook page. If you haven't, this is breaking news. We have a surprise 20% off everything sale going on in both stores all through this week. So that's going to start Monday morning, end 5 PM on Saturday the 1st of April 2017. But it's literally 20% off everything. There's very few things excluded, but have a look on the event section of our Facebook page where you can see the event and read all of the exclusions. You don't want to be bored to death from me telling you about them now, but there is a couple of bits excluded. But the good news is, obviously, your dies today are all included. So you're going to get 20% off of all of these. But of course, this is a Sunday Showcase, and I don't feel you should just receive 20% off. So I have a little bit of an added bonus too with that. But let's talk about your dies and the prices. But hold your breath for that bit, but not too long, because we don't want to bop you off. So let's talk about the actual dies. So we're going to start off down here with our village, snowy village. This die on its own is $15.99, which is a bargain, to be honest. If you think of your normal creator card style dies, $15.99 is an incredible price for such a die. Moving on, we have our Festive Frame, again $15.99. Then we have our Snowburst Frame, again $15.99. Then moving forward, we have our Snow Flourish, that one's $5.99. And then last, we have our Winter Walkers, which is $8.99. So of course you can have 20% off of each of them if you wish to buy them individually. That's no problem at all. I'll post individual pictures on our Facebook page, and I'll also tell you how much it is with the 20% off. But I won't bombard you with them figures now because it'll be far too much for me to work out and far too much for you to remember. But I will post it in the comments so you can have a little look. And if you do want them individually, you can do that. But as I say, this is a Sunday Showcase, and I did want to give you more than just the 20% off. So if, like me, you've fallen in love with these dies and you want all of them, what we're going to do for you is, if you buy the Snowy Village Scene, the Festive Frame, the Snowburst Frame and the Snowy Flourish, we will give you the Winter Walkers for absolutely free. So that means you're getting a £9 die absolutely free, on top of getting 20% off of all of them. So that means you're going to get £62.95 worth of dies. That would be their normal price if you was to buy them all individually, £62.95. And for this week only, you can buy all of them for £43.16. That's including your free one. So that's a bargain, really, isn't it? £43.16, and that will give you all 5 dies. Again, I will post in our little Facebook comments a picture of all of that with your £43.16 price point. If you would like to have that held for you in store, again, just comment on that with the store you wish to collect from. Same with all of the products I've shown you today. Just comment on the store you wish to collect from and we will have them held for you up until 5 p.m. on Saturday, the 1st of April 2017, which of course is when your offers end as well. Today's cards will all be posted to our Pinterest page, so if you'd like to pop over there and pin them, you're more than welcome to. That way you can come back to them and have a look at them at a later date. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Sorry if I've scared you talking about Christmas. I know we've got months to go, but there is no time like the present to get ready for it. Thank you once again, and I look forward to seeing you all next week when we have another new video for you. Bye for now.